He paid for her coffee when her card was declined, not knowing she was a millionaire CEO who'd been watching him all along. The morning sun filtered through the tall windows of the corporate office building, casting warm golden streaks across the marble floor. Daniel Carter adjusted his security badge and straightened his Navy uniform, preparing for another day of greeting visitors and ensuring everyone felt welcome. In the bustling downtown tower dot at 29, Daniel had learned that small acts of kindness often made the biggest difference in people's days. Whether it was remembering someone's name or offering directions with a genuine smile, he took pride in being more than just a security guard. He was often the first friendly face people encountered. Sophia Reynolds stepped out of the elevator on the 32nd floor, her heels clicking softly against the polished surface. At 27, she had worked tirelessly to build her tech company from a small startup into a thriving enterprise. But success hadn't changed her appreciation for the simple courtesies that made life more pleasant. For months now, she had noticed Daniel during her visits to various offices in the building. There was something special about the way he treated everyone from the youngest intern to the most senior executive, with the same genuine respect and warmth. This particular Tuesday morning, Sophia decided to grab coffee from the lobby cafe before her important board meeting. She had been observing Daniel's interactions with visitors, noting how he always seemed to know just the right thing to say to put people at ease. The cafe was unusually busy, with a line stretching toward the security desk. Daniel noticed the delay and quietly approached the frustrated barista. "Tough morning," he asked gently, his voice carrying the kind of understanding that comes from years of customer service. "The credit card machine is acting up again," the young man replied, stress evident in his voice. "Half the transactions are being declined, even when people have money in their accounts." Daniel nodded thoughtfully. He had seen this happen before. Technology could be wonderfully helpful, but when it failed, it often left people feeling embarrassed and frustrated. Sophia reached the front of the line, ordering her usual simple coffee with cream. She handed over her credit card, already mentally preparing for her meeting. The barista swiped the card once, then twice, his expression growing apologetic. "I'm sorry, ma'am. The card reader says it's declined. Do you have another form of payment?" Sophia felt a familiar flutter of embarrassment, even though she knew her accounts were perfectly fine. These moments standing in line while others waited behind you could feel overwhelming, regardless of your actual financial situation. She began searching through her purse for cash, knowing she rarely carried enough for even a simple coffee purchase. The line behind her was growing longer, and she could sense the impatience building. "Let me get that for you." The voice was calm and kind. Sophia looked up to see Daniel approaching the counter, his wallet already in hand. He placed a $5 bill on the counter with the same easy manner he might use to hold a door open for someone. "Really, that's not necessary," Sophia protested gently, though she was touched by the gesture. "It's my pleasure," Daniel replied, his smile genuine and free of any expectation. "These machines have been giving everyone trouble today. I'm sure your card is perfectly fine." The barista prepared Sophia's coffee, and Daniel waved away her attempts to give him her business card or contact information for repayment. To him, it was simply what neighbors did for each other, a small kindness that cost little but meant everything. "Thank you," Sophia said quietly, her eyes meeting his for a moment longer than might be expected between strangers. "This was very thoughtful." "Have a wonderful day," Daniel replied, already turning to help an elderly gentleman who was struggling with the building directory. Sophia walked toward the elevators, coffee in hand, but found herself pausing to watch Daniel continue his work. She observed how he took extra time with the older visitor, patiently explaining the floor layout and even offering to make a quick phone call to confirm the gentleman's appointment. Over the following weeks, Sophia found herself taking coffee breaks at times when she knew Daniel would be at his post. She watched him help a young mother navigate the building with her stroller, saw him stay late to assist maintenance workers, and noticed how he always remembered the names of regular visitors. There was something almost old-fashioned about Daniel's approach to his work, a dedication to service that reminded Sophia of her grandfather, who had always believed that how you treated people was the true measure of your character. Sophia began to form a plan. Her company had been considering relocating their headquarters, and this building had always been on the short list. But Daniel's presence, his commitment to making everyone feel valued, had tipped the scales. After finalizing the lease agreement, Sophia requested a meeting with the building's management company. She wanted to discuss the exceptional service provided by their security staff, particularly Daniel Carter. He represents the very best of what customer service should be. She explained to the property manager, "In all my years in business, I've rarely encountered someone who brings such genuine care to their daily interactions." The property manager was pleased, but not entirely surprised. Daniel had been Employee of the Month several times, and tenant feedback about him was consistently positive. "We're very fortunate to have him," the manager agreed. "Daniel treats this building like it's his own home, making sure everyone who enters feels welcome and safe." Sophia smiled. "I'd like to offer him a position with my company. We're always looking for people who understand that business success starts with how you treat people." A week later, Daniel was called to the property manager's office. He assumed it was routine, perhaps a schedule change or a new security protocol. Instead, he found Sophia Reynolds waiting for him, her expression warm but serious. "I believe I owe you for a cup of coffee," she began, extending her hand in introduction. Sophia Reynolds, CEO of Reynolds Technologies. Daniel's eyes widened as recognition dawned. He had heard of her company, everyone in the business community had, but he never would have connected the successful entrepreneur with the kind woman who had graciously accepted his small gesture weeks earlier. "I've been watching you," Sophia continued, her tone gentle but direct, not in any intrusive way, but as someone who appreciates excellence when she sees it. "The way you treat people with dignity, respect, and genuine care, that's exactly what my company needs. As we continue to grow," she paused, allowing Daniel to process her words. "I'd like to offer you a position as our Director of Client Relations. It would mean a significant salary increase, full benefits, and the opportunity to use your natural talents in a role specifically designed around building relationships." Daniel sat quietly for a moment, overwhelmed by the unexpected turn his life was taking. That simple act of buying coffee, something he had done without any thought of reward, had somehow opened a door he never knew existed. "I'm honored," he said finally, "but I have to ask, why me? You could hire someone with years of corporate experience." Sophia's smile was warm with understanding. "Because corporate experience can be taught, Daniel. But genuine kindness, the ability to make every person feel valued, that comes from character. And character is something you either have or you don't." As Daniel accepted the position, both he and Sophia understood that something meaningful had taken place, not just a career change, but a reminder that in a world that often feels impersonal and rushed, simple human kindness still has the power to transform lives. Years later, when people would ask Sophia about her hiring philosophy, she would often tell the story of the security guard who bought coffee for a stranger. It became a touchstone for her company's culture, a reminder that success isn't just about profit margins and growth targets, but about the daily choice to treat each person with dignity and respect. And Daniel, he never forgot that sometimes the smallest gestures create the biggest opportunities, not because we expect them to, but because genuine kindness has a way of returning to us when we need it most.